Well, she was introduced to many of us on season 7 of RuPaul's Drag Race, where she showed us that fashion can get you the crown. Since then, she is doing so much. She ended up dabbling into music. Let's talk about Vogue. Oh, and the fashion icon that she is. She has a brand new tour coming to a city near you, and you need to check it out. Her name's Violet Chachki, and she is about to be exposed.
Oh my God.
How are you doing?
I feel very exposed already.
I need to ask you about the corset before we start anything.
Okay.
Because that is such a big thing. Everybody knows you for that.
Uh-huh.
When did you decide to put on a corset for the first time?
I think I probably found like a really shitty like Fredericks of Hollywood corset at like a Goodwill that I stole. And that was probably the first corset.
Yes.
It's a corselet is I guess the technical term, like a fashion corset. And then I just sort of worked my way up from there. I've just always been sort of fascinated by like a bodice or like extreme silhouettes, so.
I also love that you stole it from a Goodwill. Did
Oh
you
my
like
God.
stick it in a bag? Would you?
I was in Catholic school, so you had to wear like big baggy like men's uniforms. So I would go in my Honda CRV after high school to the Goodwill and go to the dressing room, put on a bunch of women's clothing, and then put my Catholic schoolboy uniform over the women's clothing and then just walk out. And, like with like tons of layers. Oh yeah. I mean, I've donated a lot to Goodwill since then, so I don't feel too bad. Don't steal, honey.
Back. You gave it all back.
I've given it all back. It's the circle of life. Reduce, reuse, recycle, shoplift.
Shoplift. You mentioned that you started off in Atlanta.
Yes.
I went to school, sadly, at Georgia State for 4 years.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so
How old are you?
I am 30.
Okay, so I had a friend who went to Georgia State, and I would always stay at her dorm room.
Really? Which ones? The
Bitch, I don't
was it
fucking
newer
know.
or older?
I would say it was newer. It was like really like nice and bougie. She's like a bougie girl.
Yes.
But I mean, it's like a dorm room still, nonetheless. Yeah. But it was like, you know, she had her own little cubicle that she could be private in. That's so funny. Did I meet you? I haven't met you in Atlanta before?
No, I saw your shows at Jungle, R.I.P.
Oh, bless.
Years ago. What was that experience like? Because that was before Drag Race.
Yeah, I grew up in Atlanta, and it's a really tough scene for drag in general, and I think that's kind of where I get my like confidence or competitiveness from, I guess, or like aggressiveness. Like the girls in Atlanta like don't play games. Like it's not a game. This is like a serious career. Yeah, I mean, Jungle was like a definite like big moment for me, like getting on cast at the other show and being able to say that you do drag full time is like, I think a rite of passage. You know, you go from being like a weekend warrior to like an actual professional queen, and that's like definitely bragging rights. So I think Jungle was really when that switched over from being like, who is this random cross-dresser running around town, to like, this girl is working full time as a drag queen. And
doing aerial crap. Like how in the, like that, you just always surprise me. I think the thing is that you always put on a good show. You're doing so much different stuff. And I think you knew this when you were in high school. Is this picture, and was your quote actually, I was the Beyonce in a school full of Michelles?
I don't remember my high school quote. Like I said, in high school, I was like stealing from Goodwill and going out with my college friends. So I did not put any thought into my high school quote. I don't think that's my quote. I don't know. I don't even know where my yearbook is to actually look. If somebody can verify.
Yeah, we need to verify that.
My high school friends hit me up, so they like will text me. I have the same number from high school. So they'll hit me up. So if you have your little yearbook, girls, what is my high school? I have no idea. That sounds like me. It does sound like me.
It does.
And it sounds like something that I would flippantly just write down, like, because I really don't give a fuck. But I mean, it was true also. I mean, if that is what I wrote down, so whatever.
I absolutely love that, because you were the Beyonce when everybody else was Michelle's on season 7 of RuPaul's
At least during that 2 years, 2015 and 2016, yes.
When you got that call, do you remember where you were?
Well, like the confirmation, or like the first, you made it to the next round of casting?
The confirmation call.
It was a Zoom, or like a Zoom, it was a Skype, this is pre-Zoom. It was a Skype call, and I was just in my apartment, and I had done all of the little steps, the psychological evaluation, a couple other Skype calls, and yeah, I was just in my apartment in Atlanta, and I was kind of getting like, okay, this is like, we've done the calls, I've gone to the doctor, like, what's the tea? And I was basically, in that second, I went into like, okay, bitch, game on, like, let's do it. Like, pull the trigger, like, get the wigs, get the gowns made, like, get all this shit done. I was like, give me the list. I was like, give me the list immediately. Like, I need to start working on this package.
Well, I had heard a little rumor from Trixie Mattel that you were brought in
everyone
last
keeps
minute.
saying this. Everyone, Trixie, where the fuck did you get this information? I've done like 4 interviews in the past day, and everyone keeps bringing this up. Where does she talk about me?
It was on a video. It was like, I think it was like the podcast that she has with
that little podcast.
Yeah, the little podcast. So that's not true. You didn't come in last minute.
Maybe she's tighter with the people over at WoW, so maybe she knows something I don't know. Like, you know, I'm not saying that I don't understand how the machine of Drag Race works, and I was in it. So maybe there's something she doesn't know, but what happened from my perspective, which I think is the truth, is I had a scandal with Sharon Needles' crown.
That you stole, apparently?
Well, yes. I mean, I didn't actually steal it, but I was photographed nude wearing her stolen crown. Well, you were in Atlanta during this? This was a great Atlanta era. This was a great Atlanta era. I mean, this was iconic. Anyways, so that happened, and then immediately after that sort of hit that gay rag Project Q in Atlanta did the article, the casting directors from Drag Race hit me up and were like, are you gonna audition for season 6? I was like, yes, I am. Here's my video. And at that moment, I was like, oh, I got on. Like, it's done. Like, I'm gonna be on. I'm gonna be the bitch who stole Sharon's crown. It's gonna be amazing. Like, yada, yada, yada. And then I didn't get on, and I was like, okay, fuck. So then I was auditioning for season 7, and they called me again immediately and were like, are you auditioning for season 7? And I was like, yep, here's my tape. And then I went through the process and got on what I thought is like not an alternate route. I mean, maybe, again, look, she's tighter with some of the people that work in production. So maybe, you know, the rumor mill, people just can't stop talking about me. You know, I just don't know what, I don't know what it is.
I should just phone her right now.
Let's FaceTime this bitch right. No, actually, I will do it.
Do it.
Give me the phone. Because I've seriously done 5 interviews, and people keep being like, oh, Trixie said that you were not going to be cast originally, and I have no idea where she got this information from.
Hello. Hello.
Hello, Diva.
Wow.
Say hi.
Hi.
This is being recorded.
Oh, what are you doing?
Hi.
Hi. Hi, gay.
Okay, I keep getting these questions that you said that I was an alternate on our season, like I wasn't originally cast.
Isn't that like common knowledge?
No, I've never heard of this before. And I've been doing interviews for like 3 days, and they keep bringing it up, and I keep having to be like, maybe she knows and I don't.
I thought this was common knowledge because I always mention it like a story of like, girl, not everybody has to think you are all that, and you are all that. You know, this person wasn't cast originally, and they fucking won.
So you were talking about me on your podcast, how I was on the waiting list.
Well, it was a very long list. The front of the list was me, Tempest.
Okay, so a lot of people had to bail out for all of us to get on then. And I was at the top of the waiting list.
No, I think Jada Essence Hall was an alternate too. I feel like this.
Where are you getting your information, bitch? Because I need to also talk to that person. I will FaceTime them as well. Call them. Call them.
I think it was somebody at World of Wonder.
Oh, somebody at World of Wonder. Oh, there we go. You look really good, by the way.
Your story.
You want to see? I don't know if you can see how stunning she looks.
It's not the lighting, Mom. It's you.
No. You look like the most gorgeous egg. Like a Fabergé egg.
Honestly, an Easter egg that no one boiled or bothered to paint.
No, well, I guess right now you're not painted. Okay, well, I have to get back to my interview, but I just wanted to clear up that, because I'm telling you, I'm inundated with people being like, yep, you were on the waiting list. You weren't even really cast.
Yeah. Well, listen, I'll wait for the release of this interview and then it'll get lost in the mail.
Okay, great. I can't wait.
Bye.
Bye.
There you go, straight from her mouth. She did say it.
That fucking bitch.
That fucking bitch.
Well, you know, maybe I was, but
you won.
there we go.
What would you say from being on the show was your favorite look that you did?
My favorite look? Well, I honestly think my favorite look is when I came back to Crown Bob, but because then I had money, because then I had a little bit of budget to throw at a look, which always helps makes a huge difference, really. On the show, I don't know. I guess my Death Becomes Her look, because it was really simple, but it was super effective. Like it didn't cost me that much, and it was just really effective and really impactful.
Yeah. Something else that was impactful, and you were in the room in the moment, was the "is there anything on my face" moment.
So there's something on my face.
Was that as intense?
Everyone loves to talk about this.
Is that intense as it was?
I was in my own business. I'm not paying attention to what fucking Pearl.
Yeah.
I'm over here trying to be funny with Miss Fame. I had enough on my plate to not even have an iota of an idea of what was going on over there.
Yeah.
I was concerned about
Yourself.
me and Miss Fame trying to be funny together, okay? Like that's what I was stressed out about in that moment. I think it probably was as intense as it was. I mean, I don't think you can tell in RuPaul's inflection. It's like, it is tense.
Yeah.
And it's like almost like there's like some sexual tension. It's weird. There's like, I'm gonna your fucking ass, bitch. Like there's a fucking, it's a weird moment. And she gets like that. Even when she was talking about, she said, I don't want to hear any fucking excuses or goddamn excuses.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear any goddamn excuses. Be prepared.
We didn't have time to re-rehearse.
Make it work. Make it work. Fucking make it happen. I don't want to hear any goddamn excuses anymore.
That was like a real moment. Like there are like those sort of old Hollywood show busy moments that are not manufactured, and it is like, okay, this is RuPaul, she's old school, like this is real, like this is not like, she's not putting this on for the cameras.
Yeah.
Or if she is, she's a really good actress.
Maybe it's a combo. I mean, we did see
There's, you know, maybe it goes in and out, but.
There was the Brady Bunch movie, so, you know, she was in that.
Yeah.
You just mentioned Miss Fame, and there was another rumor that you ended up learning to do your makeup from watching her interviews. Is that true, or her makeup tutorials?
I think everyone did.
Yeah.
I think that was sort of, there was an era where it was like, everyone had Raven's face. Mm-hmm. And then it was sort of like, everyone was sort of doing Miss Fame's face because of her tutorials. And now it's sort of just like, there's so much makeup out there, but I think a lot of the season 7 girls come from the school of Miss Fame. Mm-hmm. And she, I mean, what a better teacher. Like, there's no better teacher than her. I mean, having her walk in, it was like, God.
You were like, what?
Fucking damn it.
But you didn't let it get to you, and you ended up winning this season. And I remember that was such a big victory because also it was a humongous fashion queen. You know, you were known for your fashions, you were known for your outfits. Did you expect to win?
Kinda, yeah. I mean, what's the point of like going, like, again, I take it so seriously,
Yeah.
and the Atlanta girl in me is not here to play games. Like, and I mean that. Like, everyone says that, but like, I actually mean that. Like, I'm not just like saying that for like a soundbite. Like, that is truly how I approach drag. And what's the point of going if you're not gonna try to win, like, honestly and truly? Like, a lot of girls say they're gonna win, but like, sis, we can tell you don't really think that. Like, we know. Like, come on, girl. We know you don't really believe you're gonna win. No, I really did believe I was gonna win. Why not me? And I mean, it didn't help that a lot of my competitors came off a little unlikable towards the end. Yeah, I mean, why not me?
Yeah. What was your reigning year like?
Oh my God. Triggering, I'm triggered. It was not good. It was not great, honestly. It was not good. I had a lot of, I was not well received at the time, of course. I really didn't get to showcase what I actually do in real life on the show at all. Like, of course, I get to do sort of the fashion element of it, but there's so many different parts of me as a drag queen that I think people still to this day just will not recognize just because of the show and like what I am known for. But you know, I'm of course very lucky to be known for what I am known for. But it was definitely a difficult year just navigating management and show business and public opinion and really trying to not get flustered. And like I said before, like when you know who you are and you know what you can do and you know you have that vision of your life in your head and you have a million people telling you that that's not the case, it's like, it really is a test to how much conviction you have.
Yeah, and to go also from the level of just being a local drag queen to a television show and then winning, I think is also a shell shock, especially when the show ended up just kind of like, that was like the first time it kind of like was starting to get bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
And social media was a thing too. And you really like, was that all negative, like visceral reaction? Like, were you all negative that whole time?
No, I mean, of course it's sort of divided down the middle, but you sort of want a little bit, you don't want everyone to just be like, great, or like, you want sort of the butting heads and people arguing about why you deserved and why you didn't deserve, and like, you want people to have strong opinions about you either way. I definitely think social media like amplified that, and it was sort of like the time when Instagram was really taking off. So, what was your question?
Was the whole experience negative?
No, it wasn't all negative. There were some really amazing, fabulous ones, but I was just working so hard. Like, I can't even remember. Like, I'll go into bars and clubs sometimes that I'm booked at. I'm like, I think I've been here before, but I just can't remember. It was so much work, and I was working so hard. I just can't even. And it didn't really stop. Yeah, I mean, there were fabulous moments, of course, and great moments, and moments of gratitude, and all of those fabulous things. But it was very, very, especially following Bianca's footsteps. It's like, fuck, God damn it! Like, I have to really follow after this clown who was already a drag superstar before Drag Race, like had already, you know, done film and done TV and done things like that, and had more experience. And it's like, there's no way to not compare and contrast us. And it's like, but we're nothing, you know. I'm at the beginning of my career, and she's sort of like, I want to say like at her peak, but there's like, you know, she's had a longer trajectory than I have, for sure. So those comparisons were very natural, I think, for people, and that's difficult to live in, especially when she's shit-talking you in her shows, and using your career as her material for her shows. It's like, okay, great. What else? What else you got? Can you come up with something else?
I mean, you can always dress up as her, you know, as a clown, and just do an aerial act for that, you know.
Yeah, I definitely want to put effort into that idea.
You should.
Allot some time out for that.
We have 2 fan questions about Drag Race, and then we're going to move on to what has happened with you afterwards. The first one is, was it true that the suitcase that you were carrying in the Jet Set Eleganza was full of dildos and fetish gear?
Yes.
And you could not open it because it was inappropriate?
It was a shortened runway.
Oh, so it did happen?
No. It didn't happen because we didn't even do a full runway. We did like,
yes,
which I think is stupid, because half the reason you watch, you're not watching it for the acting challenges, you're watching it to see what the girls do. And the only time in an episode you really get to see what the girls do is during their runway presentation or during the lip sync. Unless they happen to be whatever the challenge, you know, if you're an acting queen, it's an acting challenge. But no, they shortened the runway, and it was just sort of like you all walk out one after the other and then kind of stand there. And so what I'm gonna do is dump a bunch of dildos on the stage and then like have fucking Ginger stomping behind me and then have to like pick up. It just wouldn't have logistically worked. But I don't know if they still do the shortened runways, but they were doing it on my season, so.
I would have loved to see buttloads of dildos just falling
Well, the producers
off.
like to see their ideas on the runway and on the main stage and on the challenges, you know? And they don't really, I think they're considering what the contestants do more now. But yeah, I mean, it would have been a great moment for TV, I think, to have a blurred out shit thing and me like on the runway doing a whole bit. But it just didn't happen.
Didn't happen. I mean, I wish it did. We have another one. Did you actually say that Katya looks like they needed a filler queen?
I heard Violet say, well, and she thinks I made it up, which I could have, but she said, well, it looks like we needed a filler queen, or something like that. And she swears she didn't say it. I think she did.
So you confronted her about that before, and she said no?
Oh, I absolutely have. And she's like, I didn't say that.
You know what? In that moment, I might have. I honestly do not remember. I remember being very, very nervous walking in. I couldn't even get my little entrance line out all the way. I was so nervous. Like, I could barely speak. And I remember just thinking in my head, like, say something, say anything. And I don't remember what I said, but I remember just being like, well, you've got to start talking, like, you've got to do something, bitch. Like, the cameras are on. So I definitely was being unfiltered in that moment from what is recorded and what made the cut. I don't know if I called her filler queen, but if I did, who the fuck cares? Like, so the fuck what? She was filler queen.
You get off the show, and I think that you had this trajectory of being a fashion queen on the show. And then do you believe that opened any doors for more fashion queens to come and audition for the show? Because I believe you were one of the first that I actually saw that was very like high glamour.
High glamour,
High
mama.
glamour.
High glamour. I definitely think that, I mean, it's all cumulative. Like, stuff that Raja did inspired me and opened doors for me, and stuff that I did will open doors for whoever else comes next, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Of course, I think, it definitely is cumulative. I mean, the first season 1 girls, it's like the older girls who are on Logo, I almost like feel bad for them because they didn't get the same opportunity, but they are the reason that I have the opportunity, the next ones have the opportunity, because they sort of laid the foundation, but they don't get to reap any of the benefits of it, And it's like when I meet a fan who doesn't know season 1, doesn't know who Tammy Brown is, doesn't know who Nicole Paige Brooks is, I get so angry. And I'm like, this, especially if they're gay, I'm like, this is like gay history. This is like iconography, like truly raw, stunning, gorgeous, unfiltered queer television, hand delivered to you, streaming on whatever, anywhere in the world you could fucking watch it. My assistant, by the way, has not seen my season or any of the seasons.
What?
Yes. I'm speaking directly to him. It's kind of good though, because like he doesn't know anything about me, which is fine. It's kind of, it's nice. But no, it's like, look, we had to fight so hard to get queer people on TV and get it taken seriously. And I know production company and RuPaul and everyone had to really, I think, probably struggle for a while in Hollywood to be taken seriously. Yeah. And I know because I'm struggling to be taken seriously a lot of the time. So yeah, everyone paved the way for everyone else. And if you haven't seen the first few seasons, I think seasons 1 through 6 are like the fundamental. Yeah. Like you have to watch 1 through 6. Like that is like the most gorgeous, stunning, binge-worthy, iconic, catchphrasey, like raw, real, showcasing what drag is.
Because people weren't coming for a television program then.
No, it was a competition.
Yeah.
It was a real competition.
Yeah. I want to get into after Drag Race because you did a little thing that I literally had on repeat forever. Your Betty Needs a Spank. Yes. I don't know why or how or what was going through my mind at the time, but that was on repeat. That music video was on repeat. That was...
Really?
I think we had seen, a couple of music videos for some of the girls before, but this was like the first like, oh, this is like dominatrix shit. This is like sexy ass shit. This is who Violet is. Like that's how I was like seeing it as.
Right.
Would you ever do more music?
I actually have a single coming out on Friday. Today's Wednesday. With Ali X. Me and Ali X have a single together. I don't know. She's kind of amazing. So it's called Mistress Violet, and it has a similar undertone. But I think I've learned a lot. I mean, I'm obviously not a singer. I'm obviously not a wildly talented musician. But I think having a strong brand identity, you sort of have to like be well-rounded. And I think having a sound for my drag character is important, especially for live shows. Sure. But that being said, I've learned a lot with the few music projects that I have done. And so this one coming out, I think, is like definitely my best. And of course, I've had Ali X to guide me, and her voice is incredible, so she's really pulling all the weight of the song. But I'm really, really proud of it and happy with it. And the video is incredible. All
Awesome,
of it
so there is a
comes out.
video.
There is a video. It's been filmed. Everything comes out Friday, 2 days.
That's so exciting. Do you get excited for things like that or no?
No, I definitely do. I'm really proud of this one, just because back then I was really taking direction from management. I had no idea what I was doing, and I really was just sort of listening to advice and also just like doing it on a whim, just sort of like, well, I don't know what's gonna happen. I need to like have something that can propel me forward, whether I win, whether I don't win, whatever. So I just sort of threw something together, and then, you know, of course I had a lot of fun styling and art directing the video and all of that. But now I definitely like have a clearer vision of how things work and how I want things to work, and so yeah, I'm really happy about it. I'm really excited about it. The looks are stunning, and there's couture, there's custom, there's archival moments. It's really gaggy.
I think that that's just always the interesting thing about you too, is that you always, you know, push the boundaries. You're always going out with like different fashion looks. When it comes to your fashion, what are you inspired by, and how do you get a look made? Like, what if you want something, what's the process for you?
Whew. I mean, it just depends. Like, it's literally all over. Like, I could try to get a dress made the same day. Like, I could have the idea and try to like rush someone to make it the same day, and it will come out probably kind of shitty, but I'll probably still wear it. Or it could be like a 2-month-long process of like emails and back and forth and sending references and sending a dress form dummy to the atelier and like so many different steps. So it really runs the gamut. And there's a lot of stuff I have made that I just don't ever wear. A lot of stuff that I buy that I don't ever wear, and I end up just hoarding it. And I have so much shit, and I have to do an eBay sale soon. So look out for my eBay sale, because it's definitely coming in hot. I've got, it's tricky because I really have a respect for well-made clothing, and so I want to archive it and respect the clothes, but it's a lot to maintain. I mean, it's a lot to keep track of. So I'm at the point now where I've kind of weeded out all the shitty clothes that I like from Atlanta, from my old, you know, when I was from the Goodwill that I was shoplifting. But so now I'm kind of like quality over quantity. So it's time to sort of get rid of some of my older stuff. But then I don't want to get, I'm like kind of a hoarder. I love the clothes.
Yeah, but I mean, like once you like can put it in closets and stuff, and I mean, like, you know, I'm sure one day you're gonna have like the biggest closet in the world. It's gonna be all the pieces in there.
That is the plan, like a gorgeous mini museum that I'm gonna be like 75 and
and you could have like different window displays. You get to like do them up,
touching all my clothes and just my babies.
Speaking of clothes, you had on a beautiful black long dress that we had at the Met Gala.
Did you love it?
I loved it, and I also loved, like, it was unexpected. I didn't expect you to be there, and then I just started seeing pictures on Twitter, and I was like, okay. How did that come to be? Because that's humongous, like, especially in the fashion world.
Yeah, I mean, the fashion industry is definitely the most elitist bullshit I've ever had to deal with in my life. It's crazy how elitist, and there's definitely a level of snobbery, but with that, there's also a level of mutual respect and admiration for creatives and for artists and for people who can sort of respect the craftsmanship of any kind of art, you know, and being detail-oriented is respect. And I think that's sort of how I have gained the respect of some of the fashion industry. Some of the fashion industry. Honey, there are some people that will not touch me with a 10-foot pole, which is fine. Of course, like I said, it's good to have both. But no, I mean, Jeremy Scott, I've been a fan of his for a very, very long time. And I met him on the red carpet of the VMAs when I was performing with Miley Cyrus, and he was sort of like, I guess he reimagined he was doing something with MTV. So I met him there and kind of fangirled, and we just kind of stayed in touch and built a relationship. I actually walked his show in Milan. I think it was Resort 2019, I don't know. But anyways, the glove dress was actually walking out in front of me. So when I was walking the show, I was walking right behind what
you were eventually
gonna wear, yeah.
So cool. Was that experience cool, or was it just like, oh, cool that you got your pictures and then it was hot and disgusting and you're like, man?
I mean, I think I had more fun getting ready for it, but like, I mean, no, I had fun there, of course, but it's like, it's a bit overwhelming. I mean, in one literally 60-second moment, I met Donatella Versace, John Galliano, and Bob Mackie, like, boom, boom, boom. And I like, how do you even, like, what do I, like, I don't even know. I was like, I'm such a fan, like, trying to like, what do you even say? And then what do you say to all three of them at the same time? Like, so it was overwhelming, and it was definitely fangirly for me. I didn't even get to see the exhibition.
Really?
The funniest part. I was running late, of course, and we were the last on the red carpet, and then it sort of just turned into a shit show because everyone who was running late just kind of piles on the pink carpet, excuse me. And then by the time you walk up all those fucking stairs and do all the press and take all the pictures, then you sort of get to a holding room, and that's when I met like everybody all at once, and then it was time for dinner, and I didn't even get to go look at the exhibition, and I'm like, well, I'll just go look at it later. Like, right now I'm just a little bit overwhelmed with everything, and I don't think I could even focus on like the details of the clothes that I would want to focus on. Yeah, you just sort of sit there, I push my food around my plate a little bit, but that's how all of these kind of galas are. Any of the charity events as well, it's similar. It's sort of like a big press event. You see some people you know, you network, you schmooze. You may have a few snacks here and there, but it's kind of like a musical chairs, and then Cher performed, Lady Gaga did her little thing, RuPaul was DJing, and then after party. I mean, getting ready, like pre and post is almost more fun, I think.
What has been your proudest accomplishment to come after the show?
Oh, God. What fucking Hallmark question is this? Proudest accomplishment. I mean, I am proud of everything I do. And if I'm not, I don't post about it. No, I try to take everything I do seriously, and I want to be proud of my entire body of work. I think I'll be the most proud when I am like retired and I look back at like when the book comes out, or there's like a retrospective or something like sort of looking back when I'm sort of old and decrepit, and I can pull out I keep all my fan art, so I'm gonna have one of those moments where I'm like 70 years old, like an ugly old man, and I'm like yank all my fan art down and like read all the letters. All of it. Well, not all of it. Some of it gets lost in the mix, but all the good ones. No, I'm kidding.
Becky, I'm so sorry. Your artwork is thrown in the garbage can.
Look, I have 2 giant boxes full of letters and artwork that I'm gonna keep, and one day I'll look back and maybe I'll have my most proud moment then.
When do you think that you would throw in the towel? Would you ever?
Very soon.
Really?
I think so. I don't know. I mean, I've been saying that for a while now. I mean, I'm almost done everything I've wanted to do. There's only, you know, what am I gonna do? Get new drag goals? Like become a stand-up comedian? Like what? Like, you know, there's other things in life that I want to do, and I truly believe that if you are a great artist, then any medium will work. And so, and also there's like a shelf life. Like I'm not trying to be, you know, breaking my hip for a $1 bill when I'm, you know, pushing 50. There are some queens that like, they're gonna be Lady Bunny. You know, they're gonna be doing it forever. I just don't see it for me. But who knows? I mean, cut to, and this will be the documentary, cut to be at 70 at Hamburger Mary's, breaking my hip for $1.
Stop it at Hamburger Mary's.
Why not?
Drag bingo.
I have been dying to see my favorite queen at Hamburger Mary's, and she will not come to the WeHo one. She only does Long Beach. Dolly Levi.
Yes!
I'm obsessed.
She used to be at the WeHo one before COVID.
I saw her at the WeHo one before COVID, but I want to see her again.
Yeah, she's amazing.
I would hire her if I was a billionaire, she would be living in my house, have her own stage, and we would do, like, I'm not gonna say nightly, but maybe it's like a Friday night. There'd be some ritual weekly show, the Dolly Levi show, I swear to God.
That's actually really, really, like, I appreciate that a lot, because I do believe that there are so many, like, underrepresented drag artists who, just because they are on the show, they need to be given, like, that little platform.
No, she is a drag artist.
Yes.
Period.
I did not expect when I saw her. I was like, wow!
Oh my God. might just drive to Long Beach, honestly. Like, I'm obsessed.
Let's get into your tour, the A Lot More Me tour that's coming up. What can your fans expect, and what can we all expect from it? I'm very excited to be going. So, like, what's the gist?
Oh, you bought tickets?
Yes.
Big spender.
Oh.
The show has been a long time in the making.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, my first couple years off the show were a bit rocky, but I always knew that I wanted to be in a theater and really put a giant drag production. I'm really inspired by Ziegfeld Follies and Busby Berkeley, and I really like lots of production value, which is very hard to accomplish, especially when you have no experience. So this has been a long time in the making. I've had this idea for a long time. Even back in Atlanta, like even doing those aerial shows was so hard to figure out and to accomplish. And so I've been wanting to do drag shows on that level and bring drag artistry to that level for so long. So this has been like my baby, and it's been such a journey to get to the point where I'm like, yes, people are gonna come and they're gonna buy tickets, it's gonna be fabulous, and we're gonna do it. And yeah, it's really just, it's a lot more me. It's literally everything that sort of inspires my drag character. So there's like, you know, a fetish sex positive moment that sort of harks back to my Betty days.
Yes.
And there's lots of burlesque, there's lots of fashion. I've gotten custom looks from Moschino and Prada and a couple other like incredible, incredible garments. So there's a really strong fashion element, there's a really strong burlesque element, there's a really strong circus element. And then I even get a little saucy on the mic.
Yes!
So, and sometimes I even surprise myself. I'm like, you were really funny tonight, girl. Like, good for you. And I think that's what people don't expect is me to, I think people are not really used to hearing me speak as much. I'm not one of the girls to selfie video.
Yeah.
Really, it's just, like I did one the other day and it took me like an hour to get. I was like, I think this one, this selfie video looks just enough effort, but not too much effort. I'm really not that girl to be talking to camera. I'm trying to be, but it's really not who I am at heart. I'm definitely more of a visual person. So having people hear me speak is definitely unexpected.
So where can people buy tickets? What's the deal with that? Are you going, is it just going to be in the US? Are we branching out? What's all that?
Tickets are available at violetchachki.com. We are going to Detroit, New York, Atlanta, San Francisco, LA, Seattle, and then we have a bunch of Canadian dates in 2022, which we love Canada. And for some reason they love drag in Canada. It's insane. And then I'm doing Portland as well because Portland, we were gonna do it on this leg, but they've got some infrastructure issues, I think. So the theaters are not open yet in Portland. So we're gonna be going back in 2022.
Do you get excited for going on tour like this?
Not necessarily the touring part, but
the show.
The show part and having total creative control and total creative freedom, absolutely. I love like a sort of sink or swim mentality. It's like, if this goes amazingly well, I'll take full credit. And if it goes horribly wrong, I also will take full credit. So it's like, and it's
you just won't post it on Instagram.
Oh no, I'll be like, it was incredible, it was amazing. And that's happened. But when you are working with a producer or you're having, you're just on cast in someone else's show, it's really their vision. It's how they see a show running. It's how they see drag, it's how they see you. It's, and I've gotten stuck so many times doing shit I don't want to do. And I'm at the point now where I can't. Like my body just won't let me do it. Like it is so difficult for me to do things I don't want to do. And I think that's where I'm inching towards like retirement because I can't deal with it anymore. I'm like, I don't want to do that. And like my body will not let me, like it just won't.
So all the fans need to go see this tour. This may be Violet's farewell tour, just like Cher.
Yeah, that's what I'm announcing right now.
Announce it right now.
You know what? I've heard Bob has done that before in Provincetown. She like because you have to do that thing. What's that thing on the street where you give out flyers?
Oh, like you're passing. Yeah, whatever.
Barking. She was barking in Provincetown, and she was like, this is my last show. I'm retiring from drag. And then at the show, she's like, you know what? This was a great show. I think I'm gonna keep doing drag. Which is hilarious and iconic. That's iconic behavior.
Yes.
So,
but
I'm not gonna steal that from her, but you never know.
You never know. My last question for you is, what is the biggest misconception of Violet Chachki?
Oh God, who cares? I don't know. I don't know. People have, people have really skewed perceptions of everything. I mean, perspective is a wild thing, and the web some people weave in their minds is insane. I mean, like in every aspect of life, and you can really see it like politically in the past year, it's like people are insane. So you can't, I mean, I can't even, I'm sure every fucking thing under the sun has been said, good and bad, and some are true and some are not, and it's really just about perspective and how people see you. So it's like, I don't know, you tell me, what is the biggest misconception?
The biggest misconception?
Leave it in the comments. What's
Leave it
the
in the
biggest
comments.
misconception?
Yeah, let us know what the biggest misconception of Violet is.
Pin the comments.
Pin the comments. We'll do it. Well, thank you so much, Violet, for being here and exposing yourself. Where can people find you on the socials?
I am at Violet Chachki on pretty much everything, I think.
Oh, wow. And then you have your tour coming up. It starts
August 21st.
August 21st.
I'm like, May, bitch, we've rescheduled it like 7 times, okay? Give me a break. Fucking Corona. It's August 21st.
And we will have the link right here down below, and you can click on that. Until next time, I'm Joseph Shepard. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and all that good stuff. That's Violet Chachki. Have a great day.